Alright, we're over here on IntelliCast, and what I've got is I've got the temperature plots set or turned on for you guys, and I've got the active model tracks. I'll go ahead and turn on the actual forecasted path as well, so that you guys can see what's going on. And I want you to realize, well, first of all, you can tell she's definitely growing in size. She's definitely intensifying, even on the northeast side of the uh, hurricyclone, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, she's starting to spawn storms up in this area as well. But they've moved the track now down. Originally this cone that goes from here to here was originally from here to here. Now they've shifted everything to the south. Here's Washington, and let me take this off. Get an idea where you're at here. Here's Trenton, Dover, and it's looking like it's targeting Harrisburg. Let me turn this part of it off so it ain't hiding everything. Okay, now let me turn the opacity down to about 50% so we can see in here. And again, it showed it going to right about in Harrisburg, and that's basically where the model tracks are showing it. But all the model tracks are showing it basically at the highest point being up here, lowest point being down in here. And again, there's room for error. That's why they show it all the way down here and all the way up to New York area. But my concern is, guys, that they have moved the target south, and that means that more area now, this area here, which was going to be getting the south winds on the bottom side of the storm as the eye hit up here, the wind and stuff was going to be going out to the south and east, out to sea. Well, since they shifted it down here, that now makes the path, or the wind path, or the surge to come over them. So a little bit change of path here, and I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed that they have definitely moved it farther south and into making it more likely now for Salem to have issues with their nuclear power plant, as well as this one, which is directly seems to be right in the eye of the storm. So be paying attention, guys, as these storms come through. If you're losing power, you really don't want to be anywhere near these reactors. I mean, you don't want to be, if the storm heads this way, obviously the winds will be pushing it out to sea. If it moves south, well, obviously the winds are going to be pushing it this way, right into Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New York, that whole area. Again, guys, I cannot stress it enough. Don't try to up and just leave, but you got to work your way out of these cities. You need to start looking for jobs that will, or live places to live that are outside of the cities, guys. Understand that when there is a major event, you are going to have martial law, no matter what, guys. I say this over and over again. Not because the government's crooked, but because when chaos happens and you're bitter cold because there's no power and there's a north wind or whatever, and you're without food and you're without water, and weeks are going by and there's still no power, believe me, people become wicked. They will find a way to survive, even at your cost. That's just human nature, guys. This is why martial law goes into effect when we have mega disasters. And this is a mega disaster. This is going to cover a very, very large area, guys. And I hope you're staying tuned to what's going on here, because this is a very serious situation, and we can see now that they are actually showing this thing to literally stagger. Okay, they show the path come up. This one just shows it come up and go due west, go northwest, and then north and on out of here. We got the blue path, or pink path, or whatever color it is here. That goes. I'm a little bit colorblind, but anyway, it loops around. You got the yellow. This path, it's looping around. So, and even these show it going, kind of weird, and then cut back this way and then that way. So, this is what I've been worried about over the last 3 days here, and brought it up about 3 days back, is that this could end up being a very, 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 very serious situation. Not just a mega Frankenstorm, not just an incredibly powerful storm, a combination of a hurricane and a winter cyclone combined together, but staggering back and forth, just kind of just limping around, trying to figure out exactly what it wants to do before it actually heads out of here. And just dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping, because when this thing gets on shore, let's say it sits right here, okay, let's just say it just sits there for about 4 hours. Well, here's what you're going to have. Over here you're going to be okay, because you're going to have the winds blowing out to sea. There's still going to be some moisture to work with, and it may be raining and what have you. But if it's sitting right here, that means from here on, basically from here this way and from here this way, is all going to have moisture just constantly being carried in from the Atlantic Ocean. And then you're going to have this pole of moisture connecting, and you're going to have a serious mess if this thing literally staggers around. Now, I'm not saying it's going to, but this is what I've been concerned about for the last 3 days, is that this might actually happen. And now they're showing it on the paths that this may actually just get nutty and just start staggering around, trying to figure out what it wants to do and just sit around. And that's potentially devastating, guys. So we'll keep an eye on it. We do still have one path that wants to take it a little bit farther out to sea before, and then head north. And it'll probably, if it showed the rest of it, it'll probably show it coming in up here. It'll still pull to the left, because there's high pressure building out in this area out here. So as that other low pressure that was to the north and east heads out. So serious situation, guys. And like I said, you can see the size of this thing. It will continue to grow overnight and into tomorrow. You're definitely running out of time if you haven't already got a plan together, and if you're not executing that plan, you are behind schedule. You need to get on the roll. Okay, this is a fairly serious situation. Now let's turn this back on for a second, and let's see what they're forecasting. Now this is just offshore, and on the 29th of October, 8 p.m., it's supposed to be having 80-mile-per-hour sustained winds and gusts up to 100-mile-per-hour, and that's just off the shore. Now, after it's onshore, they're saying here that on the 30th, this is a day later at 8 o'clock a.m., so about 12 hours later, it's going to still have 70-mile-per-hour winds with gusts reaching up into the 85-mile-per-hour range, and that's all the way when it's all the way up in Harrisburg already. So, and that again, that's only around that little bitty section there that is the hurricane part of it that's being incubated by the winter cyclone system. So you got the whole system, the winter cyclone system, right here, goes all the way around, and then you've got the little bitty hurricane that's right in the middle of this thing, and right in this area here, literally in this circle here, is where you're getting these maximum winds, which right now is 75 mile per hour and gusts up to 90 mile per hour. And what they're saying here is that on the 28th at 8 o'clock p.m., being today, that would be 75 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 90. So it's going to move up about 5 mile per hour on the gust part of it. And then what they're also saying is that on the 29th, tomorrow at 8 o'clock a.m., it will be at 80 mile per hour winds. So just get ready with gusts up to 100, and you'll probably be getting sustained 40 to 50 mile an hour winds in the Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia areas, and on upward as it continues to move. So get your acts together and get ready. And I'm just going to turn this over to cloud view, get rid of the water for a minute and the rain, and then we're going to get rid of the paths, both of them, and then we're going to look at these temperatures, because I want you to see that it's already beginning to get cool enough in some areas that snow could actually begin to fall. Let's actually just turn the opacity down to zilch so we can see what's going on here. Okay, here's what we got, guys. In New Jersey area, we're running right around 55 degrees or so, and as you head south, you're going into the 60s, and as you go north, you're staying in the 50s. As you go toward the north and west, though, what we're seeing is we're seeing 40s in this area, and then we're in the 30s up here. And this would be New York, and let's just go on in a little bit. And you can see 39 degrees, 39 degrees, and we're heading into evening. So just keep all these things in mind as we go forward. And I'll just turn this back on so you can see what's in the area of these temperatures. Turn it down a little bit. And you can definitely see there's rain in the area. Now a lot of this is just very good. It's not actually touching the ground. It's showing up on satellite or on radar, as rain, but it's just falling from the clouds. But it's not actually, it's evaporating before it actually hits the ground. So we'll be keeping an eye on this as we go forward. This is pretty much going to be pretty consistent, just rain, 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 and it's going to start tying in up here and on around it and on out here, and it's going to start to fill in. So just be ready, guys. This is a fairly large system now, and she's really getting her act together now, trying to get that eye in there in the actual hurricane part of it, trying to get the eye in there, and it's definitely got the entirety of its structure as far as the winter cyclone aspect of it. So it's held together amazingly well. And you guys, just heads up if you live up there, and guys, be putting prayers out for these people that, no matter how bad the storms get, just let the people be okay. Let the people survive this. Let the people come out of this okay. And if anybody's involved with steering this thing or manipulating this thing with the weather controls and all these things that they're trying to do, I just pray that they get wiped out in the midst of it, just for messing around with it and doing what they're doing. But anyways, guys, get in the Word, stay in the Word, and get the Word in you guys. I love you guys, I really do, and I'm telling you, man, you got to come out of the lies and out of the deceptions, and you got to return back to that Word. The Word's the only place you're going to find the truth. And it's coming to pass so precisely. It's just, it's beyond your ability of your mind to understand when you realize just how precise it really is. The preachers and the pastors and the various figures of the various religions, teaching lies and deceptions, manipulating the Word, taking it out of context, redefining words, doing things, that just completely telling lies using the Scripture is just. Got to come out of it, guys. Just go back in there, read it for yourself, know what it says, read it again and again and again, because believe me, the first 2, 3, 4 times you read it, guys, it's really not going to make much sense to you, and it's going to seem confusing. It's going to seem like it contradicts itself, and but as you continue to read and you begin to get context of the entirety of Scripture, and you begin to realize that everything is interconnected and that the entirety of the Word itself is literally being fulfilled in front of our face, it's just staggeringly amazing. That Word is just incredible, guys. It's just, it really is. And so just please, guys, give it a try. How hard is it to take and read something for yourselves before you speak out against it? And I mean read it from cover to cover, and I mean read it 3 or 4 or 5 times before you start speaking out against it, because you're going to find yourself in error if you're speaking out against it. It happens every time. Anyways, guys, I love you. I'll talk with you guys soon. Heads up, big time heads up. This is history in the making, and we get to live and watch and see this thing happen. But this is devastating for these people that are living up here, guys. Heads up.